Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Ainsworth here, and we are going to do some test corrections or quiz corrections here, uh, and in a certain way. So follow me here. You got your quiz in your OneNote, and you should be in split screen mode where you're watching the lesson on the one side and you're making your corrections on the other side in your OneNote. And to get ready here, what we want to do is click on text mode here. All right, click on your document, select copy. And then what we're going to do is go to the right-hand side, and we're go ahead and write the corrections up here. And then press and hold with your finger on the outside of your document after pressing T for text mode. Press and hold, paste your document on the other side, and now you're looking at a blank copy that you can write on. So you got to learn how to use your iPad effectively here. And then on the second copy here, this is where we're going to go through and solve all the equations and correct your quiz. All right, so here we go. Let's zoom in here and let's go for it. Grab a red pen because we're going to need it. All right, so what we want to do here first is add the opposite. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to add 7 to both sides. The inverse of subtracting 7 is adding 7. And again, we're adding the opposite here because opposites always add to 0. Okay, so what we're going to do is cancel these guys out. We got x is equal to 6 plus 7, which is 23. All right, and so on each one of these, we're going to use the inverse operation. We're going to add the opposite first and then use some inverses. On part B, once again, we have 3x minus 7 equals 11. We're going to add the opposite to both sides. And then we have 3x here is equal to 11 plus 7, which is 18. And then you got to be thinking, okay, what number 3 times what number gives you 18? It's got to be 6. Or you can divide both sides by 3 and get 6. Okay, and so we're going to have to, again, use the inverse operation here. So the inverse of subtracting 7 is adding 7. The inverse of multiplying 3 is called dividing by 3. All right, on part C, similar thing. We're going to add the opposite. And then we get x divided by 5 is equal to 8 plus 2 is 10. And the answer is not 2, my friends. 2 divided by 5 is not 10. What we want to do is multiply both sides by 5. Again, inverse. The inverse of dividing by 5 is multiplying by 5. So you show your work here. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times x is x. X is equal to 10 times 5, or 50, which makes more sense. Okay, and the last one here, or the next one here, you want to add the opposite. What do we get? Let's see here. So we have x divided by 4 on the left-hand side. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Negative 5 plus 8 is negative 3. And then here, the inverse of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. Okay, and then we have x is equal to negative 12. These are all 5 points on the quiz, just so you know, because you're going to see plus something, and you're going to get a grade out of 5 because each problem is worth a total of 5 points. And then I use a straight percentage from there. All right, now to the more challenging stuff. So on this one here, we're going to add the opposite, 2 1/3 to both sides. The opposites cancel to 0. And then I get 3/4 times x is equal to 5 plus 2 1/3, which is 7 1/3. You just add the whole numbers. 5 plus 2 is 7. And now comes the fun side work here. We need to multiply by the reciprocal here. When you're dealing with fractions in multiplication, you want to multiply by the reciprocal. You've heard me say this in class a lot. So the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. When you multiply reciprocals, you get 1 all the time. 12 divided by 12 is 1. That's why, they're always equal to 1 there. And you get x is equal to something. And this is where you want to do your side work. When you take 7 1/3 times 3 4/3, you have to change your to improper. So it's 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22 thirds. So 22 thirds times 4 thirds. And then here we multiply. 22 times 4 is 88. 3 times 3 is 9. And then you divide. 88 divided by 9 divides 9 times. Remainder 7. So 9 and 7 ninths. 9 and 7 ninths. So here we go. 9 and 7 ninths. Easy. All right. As we go, all three of these examples here deal with the same thing. Okay, you just add the opposite first. So here I see 2x plus 5 1/4. So here I subtract 5 1/4 on both sides. Or you can think, add in a negative 5 1/4. That's the same thing. Okay, and now these cancel, and what do we get? So here 2x is equal to 9 minus 5 1/4. So now here's pizza time. 9 minus 5 minus 1/4. Again, side work here. Left to right, 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 minus 1/4. So visualize 1, 2, 3, 4 pizzas. On one of them, you divide into 4 slices and you eat one. So you have 3 remaining and 3/4. So this is equal to 3 and 3/4. Then you bring your answer over and then you finish up. Step 2, multiply by the reciprocal again, because you're dealing with fractions. So the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. And then what you want to do is the 1/2 times 2 is 1. So you get x here on the left-hand side. And you got to figure out what 3 and 3/4 times 1/2 is. And again, this is the side work. So side work here. So we got to change 3 and 3/4 to improper. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So you get 15/4 times 1/2. Okay, then you multiply. 15 times 1 is 15. 4 times 2 is 8. And then you divide. 8 divides into 15 one time with 7 remaining, so it's 1 7/8. Now, if I'm going too fast, which I may be for some of you, you pause the video, you rewind it, and you listen to it again until you understand it. You go at your own pace, right? You use videos properly. Okay, they're instructional videos. Okay, next one here, x divided by 3 plus 3 and 2/5 equals 8. Again, you want to do the inverse. So you can either think minus 3 and 2/5 on both sides, or you can add the opposite. Opposite of 3 and 2/5 is obviously negative 3 and 2/5. And the opposites cancel to 0. And then I get x divided by 3 is equal to something. And this is where the side work comes in. 8 minus 3 and 2/5. 8 minus 3 minus 2/5. And again, think pizza. So 8 minus 3 is obviously 5. Minus 2/5. Well, if you have 5 pizzas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and divided into 5 slices. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you eat 2 of them, you have 4 and 3/5 remaining. So 4 and 3/5. Okay, at this point, you got to think inverse now. So if you have a number x divided by 3, you do the inverse of dividing, which is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Simplify on the left. You get your unknown there. And then here, what I suggest you guys do, the easiest way here is to distribute twice. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3/5 is 9/5. And then so you're going to have 12 plus whatever 9/5 is. And again, 9 divided by 5 divides one time with 4 remaining. So 1 and 4/5. So 1 and 4/5 here. Add the whole parts, 13 and 4/5. And there you go. And that is the entire quiz. So now what you need to do is go to the step 3. You made corrections. Hopefully you see what you did wrong. And now what you have to do is practice mastery. So what we're going to do, go over here on the side, write down practice. Okay, click text mode, press and hold with your finger and paste another copy. So now you have 3 copies here. This is what it should look like. And on this one, you practice what you learned. You got to practice the right way to do things. So listening to me going through the whole quiz does not help too much. Just because you're listening doesn't mean you got it and you've retained it, you've digested it, and that you can do it on your own. You actually have to practice. So zoom in, practice, and then check your work. Practice another one, check your work. Practice another one, and check your work. And then when you're done, you submit it, and your submission should look like this. Okay? All right, and do your best. And then when you come into class and show me this, then we can set up a retake, and then I'll give you another shot. Okay? So this is Ms. Rainsworth. Hopefully that helped you out, and I will see you in class, I hope. Take care. Bye-bye.